talk too much more about what belonging means to the Board of Studies, we should talk about how they're going to examine you on it. We're going to spend some time talking about what a thesis is. The thesis is the original, but when writing for the HSC, you have to keep in mind what the Board of Studies wants and what you can get down on paper in full. But there are some basic creative writing rules that you can use for any task. We're going to have a look at some of those now. First, choose additional material in the first place. What is its purpose? There are a couple of things it's supposed to do. This means that you could have some poetry or a play as your additional material, but not another novel. And have been nominated for some interesting awards, like the Oscars, the Nobel Prize in Literature, the Booker Prize, or a Pulitzer. A complex additional material is easier to use than a simple one. So this seems illogical at first, but it's true. It's probably not a good idea to do a second-generation student who has parents from India, because you'll find that those stories are open to look at the films Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and V for Vendetta as a couple of examples. What you'll find in our that leads to unfair trials where a lot of people are called up as witches and many of them executed. And this becomes an allegory for the... Miller's friend, a fellow director and writer in Hollywood named Eli Kazan, was called before the House of Un-American Act. So you need to think a little bit about what a modern drama is shaped like and the special techniques that go along with this text type. So some things people's thoughts and the way that they, attend the church and all that sort of thing are quite regulated by their government. So they don't have a lot of family relationships. So he's written poems for both his mother and his father there. Sense of place. So essays have a logical, formulaic structure. Both structure and content are important considerations. There are a couple of problems that you need to be aware of. It's worth 15 marks in your HSC exam. It's marked with support this with a quote to back up what you've said, and keep in mind that you can't say anything in comprehension without proving it. Read them several times, slowly and carefully, and try to interpret them. So you don't necessarily have to rush through and try and read the comprehension text at this point.